everybody.
Welcome back to Truthful Tea. I'm Alasia,
And I'm Paige.
and we're your host.
And tonight is a little bit special because we are filming before we go outside into the world.
We are going outside. That's why we look different.
Yeah.
But I just realized that my tea is across the room, so I should go get that.
Have our tea today. Alasia made the blend today, so she knows what's in it.
So in today's blend, there is rosehip and chasteberries. That's going to be used to put us in our feminine energy for tonight. There is also chrysanthemum. I think that's how you say it. Chrysanthemum, the flower. And
Something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Chrysanthemum?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
looks like a
it
dandelion.
does. And then calendula. This is to basically strengthen our immune system. When I drink nowadays, my body shuts down right after and I get really sick. So we're trying to prevent that. And then there's also licorice root to flush out our liver so that I can help process the alcohol. we and then
We don't
there's
even know if we're drinking,
facts, but this
but
is
just in
precaution.
case.
Yes. And then there is holy basil. And Paige wanted that. Why did you want that in there?
Yes, I wanted to add the holy basil because holy basil brings focus and it helps to uplift your energy.
Yes.
So obviously going out, I don't want to be unfocused, low motivation type energy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that holy basil is good for like depressive states. I don't want to say depression, but y'all know those states where it's like low motivation, just those. I don't even know, how would you describe it?
Yeah, lows, which it ties
Lows.
in to what we're talking about
Oh, to our
today.
topic today.
Today's topic is
Yeah.
a little heavy, which is kind of strange because we're about to go out, but we're this tea blend is also meant to help us stay in good spirits and high energy. Our main topic is what got us into spirituality, and we're holding the mics today, but I feel like that's going to become problematic for me.
Me
I
too.
think I'm not gonna
Cause I'm
be
over
able
here
to
like
say I'm gonna put the
touching it.
mic. Maybe I might clip mine. I think I'm gonna clip
Okay.
this. Oh, what got us in to spirituality, our spiritual journey? Oh, Paige. I'm like, dang, this is gonna take being vulnerable with you all, and it's scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's very scary because I feel like it's kind of this way for a lot of people when you really fall heavy into your spirituality. It's usually something that's not the best that happened. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you could use healing journey as a synonym for spirituality in this case because it kind of like goes hand in hand for me. Just because I had to do one to achieve the other.
I like that. I like the way you just put that. Because
Yeah.
seriously, I did too. Ooh, it was rough. I'm gonna need to take a drink before we start. Because this
Yeah.
is the tea that we're spilling. It's the truth.
It's heavy truth.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to talk about.
Mm-mm.
Um
Especially while you're still in the process of healing.
right.
And
Like we're not professionals. Mm-mm.
it might be triggering too, I can't lie. But I'm like, I feel like also though, we're healed enough to where we can talk about it. Like, it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard and it won't like, I ain't gonna start crying on camera or nothing. Not ruin my
Nope.
makeup before we go out, okay? but but it definitely is heavy. Do you want to start or do you want me to?
um, up to you.
Oh
I guess
Lord,
I
I
mean it's only
know.
like for me what comes up first is like my rock bottom.
Mhm.
And I remember that point in time. Like it was really a long period of time, but it was just one night in particular. I was like, I'm just over all of this. And like I really felt like it was my rock bottom. I don't even know how to put it into words. Um, but I was just like, I just can't do this anymore. Not necessarily like any, I mean, I guess it was to the point where like I just didn't care to be here. But I wasn't necessarily going to do anything about it in that way. So like I knew I had to do something to get myself out of it, but it was to the point where I was like, I have no idea what to do at this point. Nobody in my life was able to help me. So I knew like at the time I didn't know, but it was definitely a season of isolation to where um it just had to be me and God. Um but it was just that rock bottom moment where I realized like, okay, I got a lot of learning to do on how to take care of myself, because there was just so much going on in my life where I didn't have anybody to connect to. Um, and there was just a lot of, I don't even know like how to say this on camera, but just there was like, I was surrounded by like addiction. I was in very bad relationships, um, toxic relationships. Um, and not to say like it it was those people's faults, but I had to come to a realization of like what patterns I was stuck in surrounding addiction, surrounding codependent relationships that kept me in those toxic cycles. And I don't necessarily like the word toxic, but it is an easy word to use when it comes to relationships, because I think it's a very broad term. But um, yeah, I guess it was just that point in time where I came to a realization of I just wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew I didn't want to be there, but I didn't know how to get myself out. So it was just like, I guess that's when I just started, like, I guess, truth seeking.
Yeah.
Shout out Truth Seekers Campus
Yes,
Ministry.
honestly, yes. I love that.
Because I was getting messages from them before I knew I needed those messages. I low key knew
Mhm.
I needed those messages, but I just think it was very in alignment that we went to True Seekers Campus Ministries,
Yeah.
and then we happened to stumble upon our healing journeys, and then we realized how valuable truth was to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like for me, what started my spirituality in my healing journey was just that rock bottom. And when I say rock bottom, I showed Alasia, and that's something that is just too private for me. But being at that rock bottom, everything that was going on mentally had manifested physically, so I was not healthy at all. And it's really hard to know that just it was because of those same cycles continuing for years on end when I thought everything was okay and I was told everything was okay for a long time, but it was just stuck in those patterns that were not good for me mentally, physically, spiritually. Um so yeah, it just really took me getting to that isolation, I think, is what um pushed me onto my healing journey and pushed me onto my spiritual path. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I mean, feel free to reach out. I know I wasn't too specific in some areas, but I just kind of wanted to touch on everything that kind of pushed me into my isolation and helps me really start my own journey in life. Not even just a healing journey or a spiritual journey, but just like my own personal journey.
Yeah. I like how you said it pushed you into your isolation because it was very similar to me. And I feel like a lot of people could probably relate to that because you can't do your healing journey. You can't go on a spiritual journey with anybody but yourself and God. So that's like, and I mean, like, he's not physically here with us. So it literally is. It's just you and him. It's just you physically. And so that, yeah, same for me. I was in my spirituality when I hit my rock bottom. So I'm like, I had something to fall back on, but it just didn't make it any easier. Like, I feel like if anything, it made it worse because I'm like, dang, I was doing all this growing and like I thought I was doing this, I thought I was doing that, but then it felt like I fell off of a 30,000 story building splat. Like the bottom was low for real.
Yeah.
But what got me into it, I had always been like a Christian, and like when I would go through things, my first thing was to go to God. That was literally that's how I was raised. I was raised in the church. Like first thing, bring it to God. Like pray about it, read your Bible, and so that's what I did all the time. Whenever I had any issues or anything, that's what I would do. But then I was going through. I feel like this is also something that a lot of people can relate to, but so I want to preface this by saying, I knew from a young age that I was a little different. Okay, Tish, if you're watching this, I love you so much. This was one of my childhood friends' mom, and me and her would hang out all the time. We would just talk about things like spiritual things, but I didn't know that at the time. And if you're watching this, we would talk about how I was an indigo child, and I think now that resonates so heavy. Like it just resonates, and I'm like, that is so crazy because I would identify as that, and I had no idea. And I was just in astrology, like I was always intrigued by that. Mm-hmm. And if you guys remember people that I went to school with, this was like, I want to say like 7th, 8th grade maybe. I was reading auras. If y'all remember, comment, let me know, reach out to me, something. That's so funny. But I was reading people's auras, bro. I'm like, if you stand behind a white surface, yeah, I can read your aura. But now it's at the point where I can kind of just do it. Like, if it's prominent enough, I can kind of see it. So, like, my spirituality developed, obviously. But so I'm just like, not right now. Ever? No, I haven't. Yeah, we do. But I've never seen it. I thought it was interesting. We got our auras photographed, and I love that. I have a rainbow aura, and I love that so much. Yes, it's beautiful. If you're comfortable, I'm going to insert some pictures so you guys can see our auras.
Mine's like red, purple, and blue.
I think that I love that for you, though, because it's like the top and the bottom. You have like the spectrum, but the main ones, you know? I love that for you. But sorry, y'all, I'm going all over the place. But yes. So I've always peaked that. But what really just like pushed me over, I was in like, this is like making me cringe. But I'm gonna be real. This is truthful tea, okay? So I was in like a situationship, I guess.
Oh, we all feel it.
Yeah,
we
facts.
all feel it. We all been there.
But I feel like it was deeper. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't even care no more. Honestly, I really don't. I identify this person as my twin flame. And if you actually know what that is in that journey, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. I cannot lie. It's been the most terrible thing I've ever experienced. And I'm just trusting God on it because he doesn't want me to let it go, and I want to. But anyway, so when I first got into it, I was going through some things. I was going through some things with that. And I'm just like, what is this? And I used to watch YouTube a lot. And I feel like I said, I've always known that I was like a little different, a little off. So I feel like it's just been like knocking like at my door, waiting for me to invite it in. Like I told Paige this, like my family tells me this story all the time. My grandma passed away when I was, how old? I was 3 or 4. And first of all, I have very vivid memories of her. I just feel like that's not right because I was such a young age. And basically, my family tells me all the time how one time we were in the car and I'm 3 or 4 just vibing and my grandma is gone. And all of a sudden, I tell my mom that I just saw my grandma. Like, we're driving in the car. And I'm like, hey, sis was out there. Sis was outside. And they told me how they, like, stopped the car, everything. Like, so I don't know. I just feel like it's been, like, there. And I watch YouTube. And I was always watching, like, story times, makeup videos. Like, if you know, I went through my little makeup era. I have my own YouTube channel, all that stuff. So that was all that was on my feed. Never anything spiritual, never any tarot, never anything like that. Yes,
I was going to say, as you can tell, her makeup is fire tonight.
Pure young girl. I'm trying to find me a husband. Okay. but so nothing like that. And I just was in a low. And like I said, when I would get into these lows, I would read my Bible, I would pray every night. I would just fall deeply into my relationship with God. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot. So I was going through it. and I was on YouTube. And in my suggested videos, it was like a message from your spiritual team, like, you need to hear this. Keep in mind, never anything about tarot, never anything like I said, I grew up in the church, so if you know, they're always like, no, no tarot, no tarot, no nothing, you know. And so I was like a little skeptical, honestly, but I felt really, really called to it. So I watched it, and it really resonated. It was a pick a card video, so like you use your intuition to pick a pile, and then, you know, and I really like that because now that I'm like heavy into all that stuff, I know that like a lot of readers and stuff won't tell you how to use your intuition. But the video that I watched in specific, she was like, okay, we're gonna do this exercise to help you get in tune, and this is how you use your intuition. And it literally guided me to do it, like how to do it. And I think that's interesting now, looking back on it, because I'm like, they just don't do that. They're like, you need to hear this,
Yeah.
pick this. It resonates. They don't tell you how to do it now.
I'll
know?
be second guessing myself.
Exactly. I used to too. I still do, honestly. Not even used to. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how I got into that. And then I got deeper into it. And honestly, I feel like since I got more into like my spirituality and like tarot and like just started learning more about the different things, I've gotten closer to God, honestly. I feel like this is the closest I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Like ever.
Yeah.
I'm so in tune, it's crazy. So this was, I want to say this happened this was like junior year, so 2020, is that when our junior year was? 2019,
Yeah.
2020. One of those two. It was one of those two. And so I just want to say, okay, so at my senior all-night party in high school, we went to like this random place, and there was like a bunch of games, a bunch of everything.
Didn't we go to the same place?
I think we did.
Yeah,
we had this conversation. We did. I don't know what it was called.
Some random place in Grand Rapids.
Yes, and it was huge. And we had a fucking
hypnotist.
Yes, I'm like, I don't know. And we had a tarot reader. Okay, Sydney, my best friend Sydney, was with me. So when I got this reading, I was in a horrible relationship. Horrible. For many, many years. Like 5-6 years, okay? So at this point, 4 years in a deep committed relationship, this tarot reader told me about my past and my present and my future. And I was like, okay, the past and the present were correct. But he told me that I was going to meet somebody in college who just completely changed the course of my life, y'all. Like, and I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I like don't know what you're talking about, because I'm in a 4 or 5 year relationship and like it's just not happening. Like, what are you talking about?
That's crazy,
isn't it? And then he was like, you know, honestly, I wish I could get in contact with this man, because he was like, I feel like I could see you like doing this tarot. Like, he told me that. Yeah. And then he said, I'm going to share something with you that I don't share with anybody. And he was like, give me your hand. And I was like, keep in mind, I'm skeptical, okay? I'm like, what are you talking about? No. And I haven't slept, so I'm delusional and delirious. Yeah. What are you talking about? I give this man my hand. He sends a wave of energy. He doesn't have anything in his hand, nothing. Sends his own energy through my hand. Like, he just waves his hand over my hand. And I was just, my mind blown. So I was like, nope, wait right here. Wait right here. I called Sydney. I'm like, Sydney, get over here. And I said, buddy, I know you just said you don't do that, but I'm going to need you to run it back, because I need her to know that I'm not crazy. I'm like, I need people to know that I am not crazy with what I just experienced.
Yeah.
And he did it. And I was like, bro. And she was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like,
felt it too?
Yes. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was crazy. So that was my senior year.
Did he say anything about it?
He just said he was transferring his energy over. Oh. And I was like, it literally, I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like a band of energy, literally vibrations, just a wave of it over my hand. And I was like, huh. Yeah. So then, okay, basically, the person that he was talking about was my twin flame, and I did indeed meet him. And if you don't know the purpose of a twin flame journey, most of the time you're awakening to your spirituality, and I indeed did. And now I'm here. Still struggling. You really do meet people for a reason. So I'm just like, and I'm so grateful that I'm in this because I'm like, I have a purpose.
Yeah.
And I could not fulfill my purpose without being awakened.
Right. Just
Awakened?
because that isolation helps you to meet yourself.
Yes. 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 Basically, rock bottom and hard times and struggles is what got us into spirituality. And I genuinely think that that is the case for a lot of people. Like,
yeah. And also toxic cycles.
yes. Once you're finally ready to break those, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. They could be put as generational curses.
That's what we are so locked in. It's so scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking that in my mind. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, it's all really the same thing.
Yeah.
But you can get yourself out of them.
It
just takes work. It takes understanding yourself, understanding your surrounding, understanding like what you grew up in and around, all of that. And it's just like, how can you set yourself apart if it's not serving like your greatest purpose, or if it's not bringing you love? Really love.
Yeah.
I think love is like the most important
thing.
It
is. God is defined as love. God is love. And so are we. And I feel like my purpose is to spread that love. Yes. So if you do me dirty, I'm going to still love you because
we spread that love and light.
Facts. And what you do is between you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Like, I know so many people that done me so dirty. And it's just like, I like really in my heart, I'm just like, I forgive you. Like, we cool.
Yeah.
But it's like, God will handle you.
Facts. I feel like that a lot of people struggle with forgiveness, but that's, yeah. I'm like, we like, can see that.
Yeah, I guess my point was like, even at that point, like I'll still want the best for somebody.
Exactly. You just won't have the same access to me as before. You can forgive, but you don't have to forget. Mm-hmm. The access just will be denied. Denied. But all love. Like the people who, I joke and kiki a lot. I see the people who traumatized me. That's some real shit though. I actually am suffering from PTSD from that relationship I was telling you guys about, my 5-6 year long relationship. But
yeah, me too.
But I'm like, hate that for us. But you know, we're healing. Yeah. It's okay. It's part of the process. Everything happens for a reason, for real.
Yeah, I've learned so much through it. So much.
The lessons.
So much.
Yeah. Yeah. The hardest part of that though is forgiving people. Yeah. Yeah. But it's necessary because literally holding that grudge does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. Mm-mm. So you gotta let that go.
It hurts you.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the time too, we could be waiting for people to apologize, and we have to come to terms with we might never get that apology. Mm-hmm. Yikes. I feel like that was deep. And we have to be okay with that. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to dive a little bit deeper into depression. I think that deserves its own episode. Because, like I said earlier, I was in my spirituality when I hit rock bottom, and it was horrible. Yeah. Horrible.
If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, spiritual questions. If you're interested in learning a little bit more, obviously follow the podcast because we're going to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Or you can reach out directly. I love to help people, and I will be glad to talk to you about anything. And I feel like honestly, if it's private too, I might go a little bit more in detail if you want to have like a real conversation. And like, well, I mean, I guess this is a real conversation too, but you know, just like deeper conversation. You want to know more. So that was just a little bit of this episode about how we got into our spirituality. I feel like the next couple episodes were, as we go deeper, they're about to get juicier and juicier. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's going to be more information. Like, I feel like today was like, ooh, some of the stuff like I've never said out loud to like other people. Like I've told you and the people who are close to me. But I'm like, this is very not y'all in my business. But if it'll help you, testimony, okay? Yeah. So. Yeah.
Because it's up. It might be a little up and down, but it's up once you finally reach those seasons of isolation because it's just like level up after level up after level up
Yeah.
if you put in the work.
It's a lot of work. And it doesn't end.
Mhm.
I recommend getting a shadow workbook. You should do that.
You
It's
don't
hard.
even need a workbook for shadow work for real.
Yeah.
But that would definitely help guide you along the way. But just shadow work, just think about looking into your own life and your patterns that you have continued throughout your life, and then think about where those patterns originated from.
Yeah.
And then
it's a lot of your subconscious too, because a lot of people don't want to, you push away that shadow of who you really are and what those patterns really are and the cycles that you're continuing. Oh my God, not me spilling. Because you don't want to face it. But shadow work is the uncovering and embracing and learning how to utilize that for your growth. So
yeah,
be courageous and do the work.
Yes.
Okay.
And be open to learning.
Yes.
Some students of life.
Yes. I think a term that I think a lot about is that how I'm a lifelong learner. And I have been like, I don't want to do that. Like, but I've been thinking of it in terms of school, but it's not in terms of school at all.
Yeah.
And well, thank you guys for watching. The girlies are going outside. We don't ever go outside. I go to work.
We're excited.
Class.
Yeah, we work.
Literally.
Run that bag up.
And then we'd be right back in this apartment. If any men want to take care of us, please do. I'm ready to be in my soft girl era, in my housewife era. Okay. Okay, I'm done. I'm in a silly, goofy mood.
Yes, it's time to go out. Say goodbye.
Should we cheers to each other and them?
Yes.
Bye, guys.